Making a keyboard case is an easy and budget-friendly do-it-yourself project. With the right materials, tools, and a bit of patience, you can create a stylish and protective case for your keyboard in no time. Begin by measuring the length and width of the keyboard as precisely as possible. Then, sketch out the case on paper, making sure that it will fit around the entire keyboard. Next, select the right materials. Look for a durable fabric that is also lightweight, such as denim or canvas. You can also opt for a leather or plastic case, depending on what best suits your needs. With the fabric chosen, make sure to purchase more than is needed just in case of mistakes or mishaps. Once you have gathered all the necessary materials, you can start cutting the fabric. Using the measurements taken earlier, cut the fabric into a rectangle shape that is slightly larger than the keyboard. To keep the fabric from fraying, use a zigzag pattern along the edges. For the next step, position the keyboard in the middle of the rectangle fabric. Then, trace the shape of the keyboard with a piece of chalk for easy measuring. Once the chalk lines are in place, sew lines into the fabric to make compartments for the keyboard. Following the chalk lines will help ensure that everything fits together properly. Make sure to leave enough room between the edges of the fabric and the keyboard so that it doesn't slip out of the case. Then, attach pieces of fabric along the edges of the compartments to secure the keyboard. Now, you will need to add some padding so that the keyboard is well protected. Cut pieces of padding so that they fit snugly and securely in the compartments. Moving on to the accessories, look for durable materials like metal or plastic. Secure the accessories to the sides of the fabric by stitching it into place. Once all the pieces have been put in place, it is time to close up the case. Begin by folding in the sides and then sew them into place, making sure to double stitch for added security. Next, stitch along the top and bottom edges to complete the case. Finally, you can add any finishing touches that you desire, such as buttons, buckles, or Velcro. With the case finished, it's time to test it out. Gently, slide the keyboard into the case and make sure that all of the compartments line up perfectly. Move the keyboard around to check for any snags or caught fabric. If everything looks good, place the keyboard onto a few books to give it a bit of extra padding. Now the last step is to use a hot iron to seal the seams. This will help ensure that the fabric doesn't fray or come undone. Use a press cloth, such as a pillowcase, to protect the fabric from the hot iron. To finish, go over the seams a second time with a sand sewing machine. After this, your keyboard case is complete. You can now easily transport your keyboard with you wherever you go, knowing that it is well protected. Not only is this project financially friendly, but it can also be very rewarding. After only a few hours of work, you will have a one-of-a-kind and stylish case that will stand the test of time. As an additional step, if the fabric is on the thin side, you may want to line the inside of the case. Choose a lining that is soft and gentle against the keyboard. Cut the lining fabric to the same size as the rectangle fabric. Then, attach the lining to one end of the fabric and hem the edges. Finally, turn the fabric inside out, so the lining fabric is now on the inside. Pin the edges of the fabric in place and sew along the edges of the case. If you are feeling creative, you can also add extra features to the case. Add pockets or compartments for extra accessories. If you choose to use a heavier fabric, such as leather, you will no longer have to line the case. Leather is a very durable material that will protect the keyboard for years to come. Of course, for a complete transformation, you can customize the case with your own unique design. Try adding stripes, polka dots, or even a fun pattern. Another great idea is to use fabric trim to give the case a more polished look. With fabric trim, you can add an elegant touch to the case and make it stand out from the rest.